What's going on, MBL Network? We are live. Episode number 9, Building the Franchise Green Bay Packers, and we have a lot of good news to share with you as Green Bay has been cruising. I told you there was a big part of this season that was going to be decided in the middle of the year. What was it? Weeks 5 to about 9. Since then, the Green Bay Packers have been on quite a roll. Let me know how it looks and sounds in the chat, guys. These guys are going to be readying up in precisely 1 minute. So if you haven't grabbed your seat yet, grab some popcorn. Enjoy the show here on the MBL Network. And we got the Green Bay Packers on the road, headed to take on the Chicago Bears in the Windy City. Hope you guys are ready to enjoy this phenomenal game upcoming. I just got a feeling. We're going to catch you up on the schedule here with the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to put it on the screen here on daddyleagues.com. So we left off Seattle Seahawks ended up defeating us 29-14. Since then, 31-17 over the Lions, 19-17 over the Niners in a tight game. Week 7, we defeated the Titans 24-20. That's 3 in a row. We defeated the Falcons week 8. That's 4 in a row. Then we take on the very tough division champion Minnesota Vikings, our rival in the MBL. Well, them and the Chicago Bears. I say those are the top 2 right now. And obviously the Vikings with 2 division wins. We got 3 division wins. This is season 6 of Madden 20, so this is a big-time upcoming game. But we had a big win versus them, 38-17, and that kind of just won the series. Things are starting to look up here for the Green Bay Packers. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I'm feeling very confident in what we can do down the stretch. We're just coming off a bye week here. We got the Packers, Colts, that should be a win. Rams, that should be a win. So that's 2 more. That should put us at 8. This is a big game tonight. I'm not counting this as a dub yet. Cardinals, that should be a win. That's 9. Lions should be a win. That's 10. Jags should be a win. That's 11. Texans, that ain't happening. So right now, I think the bottom line for us is 11, which I do think that gets us into the playoffs. As you see, these guys are rocking and rolling as we're going to get into this game in some Week 11 action here on the MBL Network. Yeah, let me know how it looks and sounds in the chat, guys. And here we go. Week 11 action. Green Bay's going to start off with the ball, and it's time to get this show on the road here on the MBL Network. Let me know sound quality, video quality, as we get a little timeout here. We hear some noise from the Xbox, a little buffering from Nemo here, which might mean we're going to switch over to the Draco stream. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. All right, we're back up and rolling here. Green Bay Packers, 1st and 10 from the 25, as we're going to be on Draco's stream here. He's going to be taking on Nemo, a.k.a. Invested. We all know what that means. Here we go, dropping back, looking and cooking. Hendricks taking a deep shot early. Interception by Eddie Jackson, making a play 40 down to the 45. And that's not the way you want to start a game versus a division rival. You're sitting at 6-3. We got the Chicago Bears sitting at 5-4. Must win for both teams. I think Green Bay needs this one to kind of stretch out an opportunity to win this division. You get 2 games ahead of Chicago. That could be huge. Losing will pull you right back down to 6-4 in a logjam there, not just for the division, but even for the wild card. Appreciate Miller Thriller with the sub, the newest member in the MBL. Little pass underneath, finding Welsh. Let's take a look at our coach's quote to start this game. This is Building the Franchise, Episode 9, Green Bay Packers. We've been following them for 3 seasons. Here's what our man Matt LaFleur said coming in this game, huge game for us. We have plenty of confidence, momentum. We just had a bye week for extra preparation. Don't expect this to go the same as it went earlier in the season, even though it might not look that way now. As the first pass from our young quarterback was an interception. Nice little curl route on the right side, finding former New York Jet Smith. Leno, 2 for 2, 16 yards. You talk about the Chicago Bears team, where they rank defensively is always a indication of how well they're playing. They're second in points allowed, giving up only 13 per game. They're first against the pass and third against the rush. So this team has been playing that Draco defense style of football, and hopefully the Green Bay Packers can kind of figure it out early, because we're on quite the winning streak, 5 in a row as we sit at 6-3 on the season. Last time these two teams met up, it was 35-6 week 1. We covered that here on Building the Franchise. You can find that on our archives. YouTube.com/Madden Bomber League. Alvin Kamara, the newest member of the Chicago Bears, traded for Tariq Cohen. And last time we had the Bears on here, Cohen was going. That was the hashtag. Who remembers that in the chat? Put hashtag Cohen is going if you remember how great he was week 1 against our Green Bay Packers in that blowout victory that really just had me very worried about this Green Bay team, especially this Building the Franchise series, if this was going to work out. No handoff up the middle. Alvin Kamara, a lot of space, but a big-time tackle. 75, keeping his feet alive. Nice little arm tackle there, as Bannister's going to be able to get a tackle on that, and kind of a touchdown-saving tackle. Let's go ahead and take a look at our defensive line. What we got, no Kenny Clark in the middle. You got Justin Bannister out of Texas, left end, D-tackle Adrian Daniels, and our superstar right end, Rashawn Gary, out of Michigan, the Wolverine. Leno back. Not supposed to put that up. Little post route, finding his man again. Chicago Bears continuing to find Traquan Smith, who they brought over from the New York Jets. Only 1 touchdown coming into this game. He came in with 24 catches, 330 yards on the season. He wasn't a factor week 1. He was completing that trade from the New York Jets, still getting used to acclimating to the trade. Non-factor week 1. They got him here in week 11. He's already been big time for Ian Leno. Trying to make some throws. As you see him right here on the right side. We got him circled. Little fullback handoff. Find Goodman. Oh, man. Goodman's looking good. Tackle in the backfield. Let's take a look at our linebackers coming into this game. Here's what we got. Christian Miller out of Alabama. Deshaun Dawkins, the rookie linebacker, in the inside. Miles Jack, the Miles Jack attack. And Blake Martinez, who's been phenomenal for this team, up the middle. Just nobody touches him. Touchdown for the Chicago Bears. They go up early. Alvin Kamara doing his best Tariq Cohen impression. Man, he might be in some trouble here. Who saw the new MBL magazine just published? I believe it's, what was it, volume number 233? Someone tell me what the volume number for the magazine was. Very nice magazine. Shout out to our man Jamie, a.k.a. the MBL Tiger King. Appreciate the 25 viewers watching right now. We're going to get back on the offensive side of the ball. We talked about what the coach said earlier. Here's what our quarterback, Jamario Hendricks, did last week against Minnesota. Well, actually, it was the week before that, as we're coming off a bye week here in week 11. It was week 9 versus Minnesota. A nice dub we saw it earlier, 30-something to 17, 15-19, 298, 2 touchdowns, interception, as the young quarterback. No sophomore slump here. He's really starting to figure it out. Here we go. Man coverage left side. When in doubt, find Devontae Adams, and right there, Green Bay strikes first with their first completion, and they move the chains. A lot of people asking questions about Jamario Hendricks and how good he potentially could be. This might be the best draft story of MBL history out of Houston. This is a guy that came out of high school. Not many recruits, not many schools gave him offers, especially big schools. He ends up going to Houston. He becomes a 7th-round pick in the MBL. 74 overall at 22 years old. He comes out at 21, and this kid came off a phenomenal rookie season with a 116 QBR. Started off slow this season, a little sophomore slump, as our man Aaron Jones. He's the X factor on this team. Not superstar X factor as far as development, But he's kind of the X factor we go as Aaron Jones goes. Let's take a look at our skill players as we progress into this game, down 7-0. Aaron Jones at the halfback position. Wide left, you're going to see Davante Adams. He's already got a catch. Dante Pettis, they traded a first-round pick from him a couple seasons ago in MBL Season 43 from the San Francisco 49ers. Jay Sternberger at tight end, and a guy we're going to talk about a lot today, Tyrone Williams, is a nice duck under there. Elusive, evasive move from Aaron Jones. AJ 33 striking early. Yeah, what was the number on that magazine? Who's the new number 1 in the grid right now? I'm kind of confused on who it is. Let me know in the chat. Dropping back, looking, angle route, when in doubt, finds his man, almost ran into Tyrone Williams. Let's talk a little bit about Tyrone Williams right now, slot wide receiver. He actually has a dev upgrade opportunity today. The slot wide receiver for our Green Bay Packers. He's paired next to Davante Adams and Dante Pettis. As you see him, number 81, he's sitting in the slot here on the left side. He needs to get 150 yards or 2 touchdowns to move to 3 touchdowns, excuse me, to move the superstars. McFarland, the receiving back, taking some carries away from our man Aaron Jones. If you got him in fantasy, maybe you're feeling a certain way about this, but right now the offensive line is cooking. Bakhtiari left tackle, Jenkins, Quincy, Ware, and Tanny. That's our guys up front. A lot of change, especially to the right side. And then you got Brian Quincy, who was drafted 27th overall in the MBL Season 45 rookie draft, and he's done a phenomenal job this year, especially as the season has progressed, kind of finding his way. You'll see him right there, number 78. Here comes a robber. Watch the right side. You see Tyrone Williams got man coverage on him. No, that's Dante Pettis looking left side, when in doubt. Out route, finds his man Davante Adams. Let's see if they can get Tyrone into the end zone here. 17 seconds left in the first quarter. Slam fist. Congratulations for being number 1 in the grid. Next on the call-up. We just had a big-time call-up for our man Miller Thriller. Shout out to Jamie, the Tiger King, in the chat. I've already said that a couple times, but if you haven't seen it on Netflix, very funny, interesting show. If you're interested in joining the NBL, go to 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Touchdown! AJ 33 on the road, and it gets eerily quiet in Chicago when Green Bay crosses that goal line. They knot it up at 7 apiece, extra points up, and good bueno. All right, now we got ourselves back to square one, 0-0 game. So after just an overly aggressive first play from Jamario Hendricks, the quarterback of our Green Bay Packers, former 7th-round pick in MBL Season 44 rookie draft. This guy comes out, he airs it out early. They're trying to get aggressive, and it ends up being an interception by Eddie Jackson. Alvin Kamara capitalizes on that next ensuing drive. They put 7 on the board. Green Bay calms down, goes on a very nice drive, moves the chains about 3-4 times into the end zone. Is Aaron Jones. So a lot of Aaron Jones, Davante Adams on that drive. No Tyrone Williams. They're trying to get him to superstar dev. I'll put his player card from Daddy Leagues on the screen here in just a second. High formation for the Chicago Bears. The way they've been running it, you got to think Green Bay's thinking a run here or here. It's not. Man coverage again, looking across the field. Can't get it off. Down goes Leno, sacked by Adrian Daniels. Defensive tackle. We talk about this defensive line. Definitely a lot of changes up front. Kenny Clark, D-tackle, was traded. They got a first-round pick for him. They flipped it for Brian Quincy. They got another first-round pick. We're going to see some upcoming picks in this draft that came from that deal for the 92, 93 overall defensive tackle, Kenny Clark. Adrian Daniels able to make a play there, but Rashawn Gary, Bannister, Daniels, they're starting to come into their own here. Let's take a look at the secondary on this play, since this is going to be a 2nd and 19. Darnell Savage, Josh Jones at the safety position. And then on the inside slot corner, you got Deion Metcalf and Kevin King, J.R. Alexander outside. Over the middle, finds his man, a little angle route, when in doubt. Oh, so elusive. That's just nasty right there. Alvin Kamara making a miss. Let's see this again. Just a little shimmy. Little shout out to Antoine Walker right there. Just gets his shoulders into it, and he's able to make a play. If you like what you see on the screen right now, guys, go ahead and give us a follow here. 365.maddenbomberleague.com. You can follow here on twitch.tv/MBL Network. Over the middle, nice possession catch. We got all kinds of action coming up tomorrow. We got MBL Live Super Show. It's going to be starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We should have some drops as well. We're going to have about 3-4 games on the docket for that. We have Building the Franchise, MBL merchandise. league shows, fantasy football within the league, all kinds of fun stuff. If you want to join, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. You can put command join in the chat if you're watching live here on Twitch as well. If you're watching on YouTube, you can find our links in our description, in our bio there on our youtube.com/maddenbomberleague. Spongy the Champ, top 5 as well, says Green Bay is tough. Yeah, they are. I mean, they got a lot of fight back in them, but Chicago has been kind of the thorn in our side. We talked about week 1 when we covered this game, building the franchise Green Bay Packers. We debuted our MBL Season 45 kickoff here, 6th season of Madden 20. We got 3 division titles. We're taking on the Chicago Bears, and they just obliterated us 35-6. So we got to think it's some kind of payback as we finally get a nice shed there, as I believe that's Bannister once again getting a tackle for the Green Bay Packers. That's the second on the day, 3rd and 2. It's nice to see some good push up front from our defensive line. Talk about the coach's quote coming into this. LaFleur said, huge game for us. We got plenty of confidence, momentum. We had a bye week to prepare. We feel like they can get this done. And LaFleur is showing a lot of confidence. And to win games like this against Chicago, these 3rd and 2s on the 45 right outside of field goal range, these are the ones you got to get this team off the field on. Looks like a man blitz here from the Green Bay Packers. Motioning a man out. Expect maybe a slant here from Welsh. No, he's going to stay on that wheel route. Look it. Time, he's got time over the middle, looks for the wheel, takes the shot. That's a bad throw, picked off by the rookie. Dawkins, 57, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. He might go to the house. The rookie is looking and cooking. He's into the end zone. Shout out to 57. He was the 17th overall selection in the MBL Season 45 rookie draft. And just like that, Dawkins gets into the end zone. We talk about him being a stud on the right side. 70 overall. Normal dev, Deshaun Dawkins makes a nice play there. You get a little corner route, a little wheel route action. He motions the, as Draco's really lost here on his screens, he motions the tight end out. The tight end was on a wheel. He motions him out to the slot, stands him up, keeps him on the wheel, and then just kind of tunnel vision from Ian Leno there. With a dangerous throw there on 3rd and 2, you'd think a team that has been running so well with Alvin Kamara maybe slightly overthought that 3rd down, turns into a pick 6. That's quite the turn of events. Shout out to Eddie Mars in the chat right now. What's going on, Eddie? We'll blow the air horn for Eddie. Single back formation, handoff up the middle, back to Kamara. Just so much space. He's getting into that second level, but oh no. Kamara's sitting down in the middle of the field. This could spell trouble here for the Chicago Bears, but being a Green Bay Packers fan, we got to feel confident. Here's our Madden 20 champions so far. Motor's got 2, JB, Z-Star, and Crins. Crins won MBL Super Bowl 44 with the rookie quarterback Sam McCoy, and he's on the cover of our most recent MBL magazine. You can find that on twitter.com/Bomber League. Also follow us at Bomber League, at MBL Network. Follow those 2 accounts, guys. And after that pick 6, I probably should have played this.
This ball game is over. GG's in the chat.
We ain't seeing too many GGs. That's how you know there's a lot of MBL guys in here. Here we go. Looking. Watch the little drag to the right side. Finds Traquan Smith. Once again, the former New York Jet. 3rd catch on the day. Kamara ankle bruise will return soon, so that's good. That's a good sign there for the Chicago Bears. What do you guys think about the Cohen-Alvin Kamara straight-up trade? T. Porter's been watching a lot. Way too many of those, what is it, Vines? No, it's not Vines anymore. The TikTok, because that's been annoying. To the outside, Weatherspoon, a little toss. Got a lot of space. Jair Alexander's going to catch him. No, ball's out. Nice pickup by Traquan. He picks up a little more. Blake Martinez causes the fumble. And now the leading wide receiver of this game, Traquan Smith, he's holding his arm as that was a crazy play there for the Chicago Bears. You get open in an open field with your backup halfback. He ends up fumbling. Traquan Smith got his head on a swivel, picks the ball up, but there's 3-4 Green Bay Packers in the area. So that is really, if you're Chicago, you get Rashawn Gary into the neutral zone here. If you're Chicago, you got to think you got away with one there. What's going on, Motor? Appreciate you stopping by, guys. Porter in the chat saying, good trade for the Bears. I like Tariq Cohen, man. I feel like with Jukebox and everything he's got to the outside, Chicago into the end zone, touchdown. They're going to knock this game up at 14. Oh, that's Jay Smith. That's not even Traquan Smith, 87, making a play. Picking that ball up on the swivel. That's their tight end as the Chicago Bears very fortunate on that last drive as they handed the ball off to their backup halfback. Alvin Kamara was out. He takes it all the way down. It was Darren Weatherspoon, 93 speed, 91 excel, 90 agility. Longest carry of his career. Gets down to about, what do you guys say, the 10, 11, 8-yard line, fumbles it, and then it's picked up out of nowhere by Jonnu Smith, the tight end, 6'3", 248, 29-year-old out of FIU. Here's the offense. We're going to get a little Jamario Hendricks action here, as this is a terrible camera angle from Draco, but we'll roll with it. That's what you get when you follow Draco. Here's the stats last week. Down goes Jamario Hendricks. Here's what happened last week. Well, week number 9 versus the Minnesota Vikings, we got the biggest victory of the season so far from us and continued our streak. We're currently on a 5-game winning streak, and we're coming off a week 10 bye here in week 11, taking on the Bears in the Windy City. But it was a big win, 38-17 in week 9. And that was led by Jamario Hendricks, 298 yards, 2 shy of 300, 2 touchdowns and a pick. He definitely is a gunslinger in the MBL, so you're going to see more interceptions than you like, but he likes to drive the ball down the field. Nice little angle route to Aaron Jones, 2nd and 18, picks it all up and some, 4 or 5, 65 yards and a pick for Hendricks. And the one incompletion / interception came on the first play of the game. He tried to air the ball out, get aggressive to start this game. It was intercepted by Eddie Jackson. Chicago scored 7 points on that drive. Green Bay rattled back and responded. Then a pick 6 from our outside linebacker on Ian Leno. Dawkins, he gets to the house. Nice pressure. Going to the left side. Jamario sets his feet, finds his man. That's Tyrone Williams. I said he's on a dev trait upgrade right now. An opportunity to get the superstar dev. He needs 150 yards or 3 touchdowns. And right there, that's his first catch of the day for 19. So he's going to be at, what's the watch now? 131 yards needed for Tyrone Williams. And look, there's going to be man coverage here on this left side. Pressed up on Davante Adams. That is usually a recipe for disaster, but the Bears number 1 in the MBL against the pass. They're saying, hey, we can risk it for the biscuit. Here comes the pressure. Looking, gets rid of it. When in doubt, Davante gets open. Little C route. 6 for 7, a $106. Jamario Hendricks sitting in the pocket. Cool, calm, collective. Even though a super talented Chicago Bears defensive line is staring him down. We're talking Khalil Mack, Fletcher Cox. They brought him over from the Philadelphia Eagles in a big trade where Fletcher Cox, you know, he's obviously aging, 32 years old, still trying to show that he's got some tread left on these tires. Actually 33 years old. Shotgun formation. Aaron Jones in the backfield. Here we go. This is a clean pocket. Looking. Got a man over the middle. Nice throw. Finds Tyrone Williams. Takes a big hit. 58 lays the lumber. But Tyrone holds onto the ball. That's 28 yards. So he needs 100. And what? 22 yards to go here for superstar Dev. And we're already just a minute left in the second quarter, guys. Aaron Jones already a touchdown on the game. Adjustment at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a run. No, it's not. Looking. Drifting to the left. Dangerous. Jamario throws it real dangerous. Finds his man Tyrone Williams. He's going to come up a yard short. You start floating out to this left side, and you got all this pressure coming off the edge. You got to release the guy chasing you down, and you're throwing off your back foot against the grain across the field to Tyrone Williams. You got to have a lot of trust if you're the Green Bay quarterback to make that kind of throw. And Jamario Hendricks, as I said, he is a gunslinger, and he's not afraid to make those throws that maybe a lot of fans are saying, no. They either result in interceptions or they result in big plays like they just did. 14-14, under a minute left, adjusting at the line of scrimmage. Aaron Jones in the backfield, inside slot on the right side. Tyrone Williams, handoff. Aaron Jones fights back to the 1. That should have been a tackle for loss, but it wasn't. Got to get in, got to get 7 here. Clock is a ticking. Handoff again. Aaron Jones just nowhere to go. You're going to have to call timeout here for the Green Bay Packers. Here's the deal. I did not like that call. You got 3 timeouts. I think there was an opportunity to try to run a slant with Davante Adams and maybe another slant on this side with Tyrone, Dante Pettis. Now you're going to be forced to throw it. You're at the 3-yard line, 3rd and goal. I don't want to settle for 3 here. Watch Tyrone Williams there, wide right. Pressure right on top of him. You got help sitting right here. This might be a cover 0. It is. Here we go looking. High pass finds Dante Pettis. Touchdown, and just like that, the Green Bay Packers come away with a touchdown, and the Boo Birds are out in Chicago. That was an opportunity for Chicago to hold to 3 and could have been game-changing there. So far, Chicago hasn't been their normal self outside of that first play to start the game where they got the interception. Jamie likes the setup there. Tiger King enjoying some Madden football here. We talked about Matt LaFleur, how excited he was coming into this game. He said, don't expect this game to go the same as earlier in the season. The Week 1 matchup that ended up 35-6 here on Building the Franchise Green Bay Packers, and which we didn't even know what to talk about in the second half. It was just a terrible way to start off a phenomenal show. Let's see if Green Bay can kind of make a play here and keep Chicago at bay, because the last thing you want to do, we've seen it happen so many times in the NBL with before the end of the half, 10, 20 seconds left, somebody gets into field goal range and put points on the board. Here we go, Kamara trying to fight his way. Nice tackle there by number 20, Kevin King. In open field, we talked earlier in the season about how poor the secondary was making tackles in the open field, and it wasn't just Kevin King. Jair Alexander was bad as well. So when you look at what's happening now, it looks like there's been a lot of work in that open field tackling between Kevin King, Deion Metcalf, and Jair Alexander, as this one's going to go to half, and Chicago's going to get the ball to start. So that's how important that last score was. If they would have held them to 3, Chicago would have had an opportunity to regain this lead in the second half, but Green Bay does their part. A touchdown at Jair Alexander to Dante Pettis. But we're still about 120, 21 yards short for Tyrone Williams to get that superstar dev upgrade. Miller Thriller says, great game so far, absolutely.
Let's go. 15-1.
And Tiger King in the chat says, Nemo is like a prizes-clouded snow leopard. Nice pass to Goodman, the fullback. He's been kind of impactful here early in this game. We've seen him with the run where he picked up about 6, and right there just bails Leno out as Leno's getting crushed. And then a missed tackle in open field just after I praised the secondary here for the Green Bay Packers. And he said Draco is like a grade A Liger. We're going to have to get some more information from the Tiger King in the NBL about exactly why he gave those guys that kind of grade. I'm sure he's got an explanation somewhere. Let's take a look at the linebacker crew for our Green Bay Packers here on the defensive side of the ball. It's going to be 3rd and 4. Blake Martinez, Miles Jack, Deshaun Dawkins, Christian Miller. Kind of similar in this 3rd down. We saw Deshaun Dawkins get a pick 6 against Leno. Let's see. There's probably going to be some kind of slants here, I'd assume, from the Chicago Bears. Man in motion. That means a drag probably coming there. Here it is across the field. Nice pass caught by Jono Smith. The tight end for the Chicago Bears, Leno. Slicing and dicing early in this first half keeps the chains moving. Scores around the league. A big win from Cleveland in Week 11. They defeated the Washington Redskins in Washington 42-14. The Kansas City Chiefs fell to the Atlanta Falcons, which is making that division really open, guys, as Welsh going to find his way, as that's just a poor coverage, and then after the catch, it's just a bad job there for Savage. 26 has to do a better job making that tackle, because you want to force the Chicago Bears team into 3rd downs, and right there you just allow them to easily move the chains. Just a little catch on the outside here, and he's able just to turn the corner on this defense. Alvin Kamara in the backfield, 89, Jonnu Smith, the tight end. Wide left, Emmanuel Hall. He's the speedster they like to look to. When in doubt, little curl route to the right side. 10 of 12, buck 13, and a pick so far for Leno. That one just a little off the mark. The receiver couldn't get his hands on the ball. Maybe he was looking. See, this is the problem. Receivers run these little sit routes, and they're thinking, who's behind me? So they're not really watching the ball into their hands, and right there he kind of just takes his eye off the prize, and it's right between his hands. Underneath, nice pass finding Emmanuel Hall, who was their go-to receiver for the last couple seasons. Ian Leno trying to move the chains here on a very nice drive. Emmanuel Hall came into this game, 24 catches, 452 yards, and 3 touchdowns, but it's been kind of spread across the board. You have James Washington, Chandler Welsh, Traquan Smith, all 4 of those guys kind of getting a lot of that similar distribution, as Leno's been really good at spreading the ball around since they don't have a primary number 1 option here in Chicago. Shotgun formation. Man coverage. Little sit route. Finds his man, Washington. I think that's going to be enough for the first down with some forward progress, and it is 1st and 10. Nice little spot route, finding 85, keeping the drive alive. Got to get some pressure up front. Earlier in this game, you saw Adrian Daniels and Bannister doing some phenomenal stuff, but I'll tell you what, Rashawn Gary, since the absence of Kenny Clark, the defensive tackle they shipped to Kansas City for a few draft picks, he has not been the same player that got this big-time contract. There's Leno too much time, and he just throws it. 2 routes kind of crossing each other. Nobody knows who it's to, and Leno just decides to pop 88 in the head. Can't make the catch, 2nd and 10. Yeah, Rashawn Gary, only 4 sacks on the season. This is a guy that's sitting at 92 overall, superstar dev, 26 years old. He's making $16.33 million this year. He's the last 5 seasons in the MBL. He's had 10 sacks, 13, 13, 14. He was trending up, but without Kenny Clark this year, he's on pace to not hit double-digit sacks for the first time this cycle. I mean, we'll take a look at the guy right here. He's got secure tackler, pass rush, elite. But look at the sacks there at the bottom, guys. I mean, that's my issue. I mean, I can look right here. Look at that. That's good. Then I scroll down 1, you see 4. That's just not going to get it done. Here we go. Leno looking and cooking. Over the middle. He's got a wide open guy, and that's Smith. He's going to get down, and that's Tremont Smith. 3rd catch of the day for him, I believe. Yeah, 3 catches, 46 yards. 89, feeling fine. So you're getting a little bit of the Smith duo here in Chicago. Jonnu Smith, the tight end, at number 87. Number 89, Tremont Smith, who they brought over from the New York Jets. Playing some big-time ball right here as Chicago's down 7. First drive of the game has been ticking, going into almost, look up here, 4 minutes on this drive. Time of possession has been a killer. Man coverage. Goes to the left side. That's picked off Kevin King. Bad throw. They might be stuck at the 1 here. They are. That's a bad placed ball. He's looking for Tremont Smith again. He's just running right to the pylon. You got the pylon sitting here. And Ian Leno just kind of throws it behind right to Kevin King, who just readjusts. Handoff. Right side. This might be 99 yards. Aaron Jones. Eddie Jackson, the only one that can catch him. 45-50. Jackson might get to him behind him. He does, as that's going to be a crazy game there for Aaron Jones. 6 carries, 84 yards. And just like that, the Green Bay Packers get a little breathing room. A lot of this game has come down to the Chicago Bears turning the ball over inside of scoring position. We saw it on the first drive, the first interception from Ian Leno on the right side. He found our rookie Dawkins for a pick 6 on a 3rd and short. So Chicago right there on the goal line throws a pick, and it ends up getting flipped really quick. Here we go, look it. Nice pass, finds Tyrone Williams. He's able to hang on to it. He's trying to get that superstar dev upgrade. He needs 150 yards. Let's see what he's up to now. 64 yards. So he's got about 88 yards, 86 yards to go here. Week 11 action of the Green Bay Packers on the road versus the Chicago Bears, trying to get some revenge here. Green Bay's on a 5-game winning streak, including big wins over the Minnesota Vikings, which was a Week 9, 38-17, and over the Atlanta Falcons Week 8, 27-21. As a quick little handoff there, little touch pass, I believe, to Tyrone Williams. That won't get it done. 5 catches, 63 yards. Upcoming for the Green Bay Packers, Indianapolis Colts Week 12, Week 13, Los Angeles Rams, Cardinals Week 14, Lions Week 15, Jags Week 16. I mean, if they win this game, I mean, you could see that 5-game winning streak go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They could end the season winning 11 of their last 12 games, and if they came away with the win against the Texans, they might be the hottest team in the NBL going into the playoffs. But what a turnaround. I mean, this is a team that had a victory over the Dallas Cowboys Week 2. They kind of just edged them out. And then week 1, that loss we talked about to the Chicago Bears, 35-6. Week 3, the loss to the Minnesota Vikings, 28-17. Then week 4, we covered the loss to the Seattle Seahawks, 29-14. They were 1-3 going into week 5, and I said week 5 to week 9 was going to kind of define their season, and they have stepped up to the bell, and they've just been able to respond like a champion. I think it's looking good for them to win this division. If you want to join the NBL, go to 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Jamario Hendricks looking over the middle, finds his man. That's Aaron Jones, 33, with the TD. And they're going to go up 2 scores against the number 1 passing defense in the NBL. Chicago's in trouble. All right, guys, what's the chances that Tyrone Williams gets that dev upgrade? 72 viewers watching right now. Appreciate everybody checking us out here on the MBL Network. If you want to join the NBL, go to 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Follow us on Twitter at BomberLeague at MBL Network. This is Building the Franchise. We follow a new team every season here in the NBL. Get some behind-the-scenes action, talk to the coach, we talk to the players, we talk to the owner, and we basically follow this team throughout the season. Green Bay, we followed them 3 seasons in a row. We're following a new team in NBL Season 46 at the conclusion of this season, but right now Green Bay's on a big time pace to do something maybe even special going into the postseason. We talked about Coach LaFleur and his confidence in this team. Huge game for us coming up. They're answering the call. They started the game down 7-0 with an interception. They've outscored the Chicago Bears 28-7 since then. They said don't expect this game to go the same as earlier in the season, and he's been absolutely right. As Chicago just sliced us 35-6 week 1, but a 1-3 start, now sitting at 6-3 on the season, 5-game winning streak. There's the pressure, ball's out. Leno puts it on the ground, picked up by Dawkins, and he's having the best game he's had as a rookie. 2 touchdowns from 57, touchdown Green Bay. When you get Chicago down multiple scores, you notice they go into a pass-heavy offense, and that is just not their forte. Shout out to Matt. That is just not the style and brand of football they're looking to play. They want to give it to Alvin Kamara. They want to make quick throws, move the chains, eat up a lot of clock. Time of possession is always a big deal in Chicago. If you look at the wins that they have, they came into this game 5-4. If they win time of possession, they usually win the game. Today, they got down a couple scores. Ian Leno has shown he's just as much a turnover machine as anybody in the NBL, especially when the pressure's on him, and the pressure has been hot and heavy. If you like what you see here, give us a follow, twitch.tv/MBL Network. All of our shows and content are archived on youtube.com/MaddenBomberLeague. You can follow us on Twitter at MBL Network, at BomberLeague for upcoming streams. MBL Tiger King in the chat saying it's a good old-fashioned hunk beatdown. Yeah. So what was a 35-6 runaway game for the Bears in week 1? Now Green Bay finds themselves up 35-14. Kamara in motion, recently traded from the New Orleans Saints for Tariq Cohen. Just a straight up deal. And there's a bomb looking to go against Savage, and that's almost caught by Emmanuel Hall, but Darnell Savage says, not today, not going to happen. You talk about this secondary, one of the best in the business, and that's because of the depth that they have. I don't think there's a better 5 pound-for-pound safety and a top 3 cornerback group in the NBL. They're not necessarily the no-fly zone, but talent-wise, you got athleticism, you have speed, you have skill. You look at the safeties, Darnell Savage, Josh Jones, super talented Darnell Savage, and then the three corners are just on another level. Kevin King, J.R. Alexander, and you got the superstar Deion Metcalf playing a slot. These guys are not just ball hawkers, but they can just shut down one side of the field if they're asked to do it, especially Alexander and Metcalf. Kevin King, the speedster that can run with nearly any wide receiver in the NBL. So they have just a nice combination of players in that secondary that you can mix and match on any offensive unit in the NBL, and they could walk away with an advantage and give their team an opportunity to win the game, and that's what you're seeing tonight. Shout out to Tall Guy, says, I'm the Packers in one of my franchises right now. How far are y'all in Madden 20? How many seasons have y'all played with the Packers? Shotgun formation here for Ian Leno. Probably going to be watching Smith here, or you're going to see Washington on this corner. That's probably where he's looking. Man coverage goes to Smith. Oh, that could have been picked. As 56 does a great job of getting underneath that, just unable to make a play and track the ball, but he knew exactly what was coming. That's what happens when you come off these bye weeks. You become very prepared, and you're seeing the Green Bay Packers just a step, 2, even 3 steps ahead in some situations. You see a corner route, and great job trailing, and then he gets between the receiver and the ball, and he should have been able to make a play there, and just very fortunate for Leno. As now 2nd and 3. Nice pass for Ian Leno there. 2nd and 3. They're moving the chains down to the 27, and they've struggled in these short down and distances throughout this game, resulting in a pick 6. They always try to get a little too cute throwing the ball, but now down 35-14. You're going to have to drive the ball. He was looking at A, not there. Instead goes to the left side. That should have been picked 2. Dion Metcalf couldn't make a play. That's one of the better corners in the NBL, just unable to track against Emmanuel Hall. Look at this. He was right. He was slightly off the line of the ball. Shotgun formation. That Gaddis is going to come in motion. Dropping back. Looking. It's got B. Doesn't take him. Got a lot of time. He's going to roll to the right. Ian Leno, not the fastest feet in the NBL. He's looking at B, going to throw it back, and it's intercepted by the Green Bay Packers. That is Jair Alexander, one of the best in the business, making plays for days for Green Bay, and this game is over like Rover. We talked about it. Dion Metcalf, Kevin King, Josh Jones, Darnell Savage, and El Capitan. Jair Alexander is going to own this game. He's going to just pretty much say, hey, this game is over. 3 minutes left. Nick Mazesco, MBL Network director, he's got something to say.
This ball game is over. GG's in the chat.
Up 21 points with 3 minutes left, and unless they get a big-time scoop and score, some kind of turnover here that they can turn into points, Chicago finds themselves down 3 scores, and an offense that's ranked number 1 in the NBL has now given up 35 points, well, 28 points, because a pick 6 isn't against the defense. But still, that is much more than we're accustomed to seeing here in Chicago, especially at home. You're talking about a Packers offense that's averaging, they're not playing bad themselves, especially as of late. They're 22 points per game, but the Chicago Bears defense only giving up 13 points per game, only giving up 143 passing yards and 46 rushing yards. They have been just completely demoralized today. Nice pass to Devontae Adams. It doesn't look like Tyrone Williams is going to get that superstar ability, even though Hendricks, 13 of 14, buck 69, 2 touchdowns. They have played absolutely great as a unit, and they're going to improve their streak to 6 games. Later, Tiger King. Put Command NBL in the chat if you want to learn more about the NBL Command season, give you some information. If you want to join the NBL or just read up some more on what we're about, go to 365.maddenbomberleague.com, 32-user league. Knees and GG's in the chat, and Green Bay is going to improve to 7-3 on the season after starting 1-3, 6-game winning streak, and it gets a lot easier from here. They've now got wins in the last 2 games over the Chicago Bears by 21, over the Minnesota Vikings by, well, I got to see how much they beat Minnesota by. I don't want to misquote here, but it was a lot as well, 38-17. So 21-point lead win over the Minnesota Vikings, and then they come into Chicago and win by 21 as well. This might be the hottest team in the NBL, and we're covering them all the way through the playoffs, guys. A little buffering there. Draco's stream is really not trying to cooperate down the stretch. All right, we're going to call it for the game, guys. Appreciate everybody checking us out. We'll see you next time here on twitch.tv/MBL Network for upcoming game times and basically more information that's going to be on the MBL Network. Follow us at MBL Network, at Bomber League. We also have a stream tomorrow starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and drops will be live courtesy of EA Madden NFL. So thank you all. Episode 9, Green Bay Packers 35, Chicago 14. Green Bay improves to 7-3. And the Chicago Bears fall to 5-5 on the season, and we're coming back for that division chip.